So 3, 2, 1. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Jesus. Whoa, that was you.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. There we go.
Hey!
Rhythm, folks.
Come on, people.
Action.
Yeah.
Welcome back
To PND.
With
That is
Paulina.
and yeah. Gotta keep you guys on your toes. Yeah, you know. But Poe, you were in Mexico now.
Yeah.
And you didn't get chopped up or stolen.
No.
So that's good. Because you're valuable.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
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 Yeah.
I went to Tulum.
Wait. Victor, say hello.
Hi, guys.
Wait, can we talk about Victor's haircut? I love it.
Sure.
I need to shout it out because I was like, whoa, Vic.
Yeah.
Different person. I love it.
Yeah, before we even jump to that, Vic, congratulations. How did fame taste? Yeah.
Oh.
Vic got noticed at the coffee shop or Panera.
Yeah, at the local cafe. I'm throwing out my food, and someone randomly is like, "Hey, you're Victor, right?" And I'm like, obviously, you know me. We've probably met in the past, so I'm like, "You're you, yes. Oh, remind me your name." And then he's like, "Oh no, you're from the Paulina and Durlas podcast." I'm like, "Oh, you recognize me like that? Okay."
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm the side character here."
No, I think
was
you're
like-
main character too.
Yeah. And then he goes on and is like, "No, yeah, he watches the show and everything. He knows both of you, mainly
was it?
you."
Now I want to know.
I believe
that's
his
up to
name.
Vic to know.
Yeah, I believe his name was Rick.
Okay.
Spanish guy.
Yeah.
That narrows it
Rick,
down.
message us, please. Let us know who you are.
He's like,
Thank you
I'll
for
probably see.
recognizing.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
I'll probably see Paulina at Craft.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh
okay.
shit! I should know that. Damn it! Like, who is this?
Well, it might not be Rick. It might be
No,
some
I might
other
be
name.
messing up this
Okay.
name,
Yeah,
so
there you go.
it's not
So
on
you
Paulina. It's
Yeah.
Make
probably
yourself
on
known,
me.
Yeah.
please.
But
Yeah.
when he
That's so
said-
awesome.
Right.
yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah.
And
But-
then I know when I get a haircut, my head shrinks like 2 sizes.
It looks good. I like it.
Thank you. Appreciate
Well, I
it.
guess we're doing
Careful,
something right.
loser. Careful. Somebody's Poe's out here stealing men.
No. Oh my God. No way. I would never. No.
Yeah, no, of course
I'm
not.
staying in my
Of course not. Yeah.
hmm But that's good. I guess we're doing something right.
Oh, yeah, we
Can we
are.
talk about the
Yeah.
viral TikTok? that
You
we
want to? You want to just be
Yeah.
like, yeah, we got it. We
We
got
got
it.
it. We've
That
been
was the
waiting for this
first
moment.
time hitting viral. And it
Mhm.
felt better than any orgasm any woman's given me.
Yeah.
Not any man, because those are great. Those are just phenomenal. Men
Yeah.
just know how to do it better, Just like they really put it in there and know. My grandma watches this show. Luckily, she doesn't understand.
I was gonna
but
say
yeah.
she probably doesn't.
Yeah, my
understand it.
mom does though, but she's just like, yeah.
Whatever. She
yeah.
knows who you are. Like
Yeah,
you're a
yeah,
jokester, so it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
she knows not everything is so real.
Yeah.
But
No, but she thought I was gay. She assumed
well,
it.
your mom,
Yeah, they was just
Why?
like, oh, because I haven't had like a girlfriend.
typical
Yeah,
for
yeah,
like
yeah.
Hispanic culture to
yeah.
judge you on based on that. Same with Polish culture.
Yeah.
If like my grandma, I saw her over FaceTime recently,
Made
and she's
it
like, "Do you have a boyfriend yet?" I'm like, "No, jeez, like stop making me feel bad
Yeah.
that I don't."
She wants her grandchildren.
Yeah,
Yes, be a super grandma.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
But
No, my
okay.
parents are pushing me for that too, but
I'm glad
not
I have
yet.
my brother and sister. They got their kids. So I'm just like,
So attention is
yeah,
off
but
you
my-
now.
Yeah, but my mom definitely still wants me to have kids.
Heck yeah, I
I'm
mean,
like,
obviously,
yeah,
you will.
I guess maybe we'll see. What happens if I don't? It's gonna be
That's
okay.
okay, yeah.
That's
It'll be
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
But I can see you're a good father. You're gonna
Oh,
be.
thank you.
And your kid
Yeah.
is gonna be funny. So.
I hope so. Yeah, or else I'll abandon them. I'll be
Oh my
like,
gosh, I was at
like,
this Islander game yesterday, and there was this cool ass kid. He must have been like 8 years old.
Okay.
He was like hyping up the whole crowd and like talking shit to all like the opponents. Opponent? Yes.
Opponents.
Opponents. Thank you.
Oh,
Opponent. That did not sound right.
Opponents.
Wow.
I figured it
That was
out.
an impressive.
He
Okay.
knows me by now. I feel like once you hang out with me for a while, you kind of like read my mind.
It's funny. Like I talked to somebody on these chairs before I talked to you. I'm sorry, but they
Wow.
mentioned they were just like, oh, I
Cheating.
love Paulina, but yeah, sometimes it's hard for me to understand because they're a Spanish speaker. They're a Spanish
Oh.
speaker,
Okay.
so like yeah, like you're saying, like I understand you a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
better.
yeah.
Yeah, like so I get it. And I was like, do you understand me? I was like, yeah, somewhat. I was like, yeah.
Okay, so
And she
they're
was like, why don't you just make Spanish translations?
we
Same
need both
reason I don't
Spanish
do
and
Polish
Polish.
translations because I'm not about to do all that work right now.
Wait,
Now
but
that- yeah.
if you teach me, I'll do it.
Hey, no, how
No,
about
you're
this?
not gonna do shit. Okay.
If you guys want
Yeah.
translations,
Yeah.
sign up to the Buy
'Cause
Me
you
a
know-
Coffee
you know
and
what
buy
the-
us a translator.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
literally.
exactly. Like, but do you understand? We also have to build another channel. We have to make sure that it's being posted every single time we're posting. It's just more work. I'm
It's a
waiting
lot.
until like
Again,
we
buy us a translator.
Yeah.
Buy us the channel and everything, you
Yeah,
know?
seriously.
It's right there. It's in the link.
That's
Yeah.
that's true. Like
Yeah.
if we get enough funds to
Yeah.
invest, we're down to do anything. Honestly, it's just like obviously we've been
I don't know
doing
about
this.
anything.
No, when I say, like-
I mean, you can keep your strap on, okay? Yeah, or off, whatever.
No, but
the
we're
case
down to like add different features to videos. You're such a
Paulina
fucker.
just walks out with a strap on, right? Just like,
It's
I'm ready for the day,
what's
baby.
funny is because
Who's coming
on-
at me? Just
On
like
her
yeah.
angle, it's
You trying
like
to
you
get
don't
fucked
see
like that?
everything.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but that would be cool though, because we would expand
Oh,
globally. But
shout
it's
out
gonna happen
to-
anyway.
One thick pony.
Trick.
I'd
Trick.
rather thick.
It's so funny. Wait, it's so funny. It's so funny because when I saw the sign for the first time, I literally said that one thick pony,
Yeah.
and people were like,
Yeah. I mean, like the R looks like a little bit like an H. I mean,
Yeah.
like it's almost there.
I
I think it's better, and like that's a thick
That's a
pony
thick
right there.
With 3 C's.
Why did they copy like?
Wait, show it to the camera, show
Yeah,
it to the
they
camera.
copied the goddamn Starbucks and just put a horse below her, pretty much.
Yeah.
I fuck with them though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's
yeah.
the best coffee
Yeah.
shop, literally, in
Yeah.
West Hampton. Check it out, guys. It's
Mm.
called One Trick, not Thick. One Trick
Yeah.
Pony.
Yeah.
But wait, what were we talking about though? Oh, the viral video. Holy
Yeah,
shit! Like
yeah.
that's so awesome.
Yeah.
I was
Did
like,
you see the comments on that?
Oh,
Oh
man.
yeah, yeah.
very
They-
good ones.
I
It was
showed-
like, it was
Have you
more
read them?
divided than it was a country right now.
Oh, what a joke. Boo-doo-boo. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Politics over there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Some people went off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
glad
like-
that story like moved a lot of people.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was great.
I prefer the train story, honestly, than that one.
See,
Yeah,
the swinging one is
Yeah.
just a lot of people can either relate or have a lot of opinions on.
Yeah.
With transgender, it's such a, I feel like, sensitive topic that some people
Yeah.
don't want to talk about it.
I
You know?
like I was talking to Vic about this. It was just like where it's just the algorithm. Like you never know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it takes, like whether it's just one hashtag, one person that started sharing it with other people and then
Yeah.
it just starts like when I started seeing it go though,
Mhm.
like in all the comments, I just commented every single time, every
Yeah.
person.
Re-
Just because I was just like, yeah, let me just I have time. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
and then like,
engage with
yeah,
people. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's I think like
Let's
that's
see
the
if
biggest
we
thing.
got a little
I
more.
think
I
one
feel like-
nice thing about it that made it so shareable.
Yeah.
Because it's like a question you could send to like people were probably sending it to their partners like, so if this happened to us,
Oof.
Right.
what would be the answer here?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Oh,
and,
Relatable
like,
content.
because it's like it's an approachable
Sorry, I was
question
just
for
looking at it.
people in that sense, you
Mhm.
know. I feel like that's what makes it shareable. Like can
Yeah,
they
Yeah.
can they ask someone else the
Yeah.
same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but I think we have a lot of that down.
Yeah.
It's just
But the
you know,
algorithm is what
yeah.
makes it viral or not.
Yeah, I mean it's also us like getting enough like because I don't depend on being viral.
Yeah.
Right.
Or for us to do that, I depend on like our good audience that we're building
Yeah,
and community
The
that we're building
community. Mhm.
because I think that's way better than just like
Just
oh
randoms.
yeah let me look until
Yeah.
like I'm not hoping for another viral hit.
Yeah.
I'm
For a
hoping for
while,
us just to
probably.
continue for another like 2 years and just
Steady
continue
growth.
building. Yeah, like
Yeah.
because that's far better. Like for us to reach. Personally, I think like for you to reach 50,000 than rather a million. Even though the goal is a million,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather us like build
Slowly,
to
progressively
and just like
grow
have
with solid
yeah
people. Solid
exactly
followings. Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah.
really just love us
Yeah.
for just being on here, and obviously we love you, and we can't wait to have you. You know, we've asked a couple people to come on here, and we're excited. They've said yes. It's just working with post schedule, which is a nightmare. I swear
I
to
give her
God, every time
plenty.
this girl we like decide on a schedule, she hits us up the day before. What time? Oh, can we change this here? Somebody invited me to this, and I'm just like, oh, okay, sure. Well,
Listen, I live
let's
for experiences. I don't know what to say. Tomorrow's not
yeah.
promised.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, yes, but no.
There you go. That's the laziest way I've seen somebody try to excuse themselves. It's just like, yeah, I'm so important. Like, yeah.
That's not true. That's not true. It just came out last minute, the game, and I was like, oh my God, I'd love to see it. So,
I'd
I
love to see a
apologize.
lot of things, but
The
you know,
Islanders
like,
is more
You can't hate
exciting
on
than
it
these
now.
couches,
Yeah.
I guess.
What happened?
The Islanders are more exciting than these couches, I guess.
no, fuck that.
It was a
man.
great game.
Yeah.
No, I love being here.
Yeah, nah, bro, not a chance.
I love you, D.
Yeah. We're looking for
screwed
new
now.
co-hosts at this point. Yeah, one understands work schedules.
We see how it is, bro.
Mm.
Well, it's really hard to find like 4 or 5 hours a day. Like it's near fucking impossible. So when I have other things happening,
Oh, it's funny when I tell guests that, like the people like that want to come on here, and
Yeah.
they're just like, "Oh, how long do I have to be there?" It's usually I just tell them like 2 hours, really.
it's more
Like,
than that, but yeah.
you, me, and him, yeah,
Yeah.
3.
No, but them,
We're
they
like,
could
Oh,
just
like
walk
for
in,
them to
record.
come
yeah,
on,
it's just
yeah,
2
2
hours,
hours, yeah.
2 hours, and they're like, "Oh my God, 2 hours?" I'm like, "Bro, it's
It's
2
between
hours. It's like you
It's
can,
nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it like goes. It's really almost
Yeah.
like an hour and a half, really,
Yeah.
and then it just flies by before you know, it, and then you're just
Right.
like, "Wait, we need to talk
And
more
I mean, we
about."
can have you guys come on and just like whenever, that's pretty much how it's going to be. Like everything's going to be ready. You sit down and you start,
Yeah.
you know what we're going to talk about, and
Yeah.
you just
Yeah.
hang out with us, but then we will worry about everything else
Yeah.
later. So,
Yeah,
but
it's funny, like Poe just worries about to a certain level, and then Victor and me have to worry about a whole
Yeah.
different other level, and then I gotta worry about everything else.
I
to,
know,
It's
to
just
my
like,
defense, I always offer. I don't.
I know you do.
You know, like
I'm
I don't. I
not-
know you
yeah,
guys do the most
yeah,
work if it comes to editing, and I mean, in
but
shows.
you're the star, though, baby. You're
No,
the
I think you're the
star.
star.
Nah,
Yes.
not a chance.
I'm
Like,
just like
people
entertaining
want to see
your-
the jiggle over there. Okay, like
Didn't do it. Jiggle, jiggle.
So there's the poll in the comments:
Yeah.
D or P.
Oh, D
Oh,
or
I
P.
think it's definitely gonna be D. I'm not even like trying to compete. Definitely D.
No, they love you.
No,
Yeah,
I think we are a good team. I
Yeah.
always hear this from you guys, and we
Yeah.
appreciate it that the chemistry's there, and
I think
guess-
that's the most important, honestly.
yeah,
Yeah.
we have
I feel
some
like this is
people that
gonna
are waiting
turn
for
into
me
one
and
of
Daddy's to
those-
date. What?
As I feel like this is going to be turning into one of those hashtag Team Edward, Team Jacob. It's like Team Polina, Team Derlis.
I'm
We
pretty
should
sure I'm
compete
gonna
one day.
lose. Yeah, we
In
can.
something. No,
Yeah.
not like that. I'm just saying, like, it would be fun to do some games and stuff. Like, are you on Team D or Team P?
I would hope all the whores just jump on Team D. Yeah, come to me, and I'll
So-
come on you. Like, yeah, okay. But yeah,
Yikes.
so any other life updates? How was Tulum?
Tulum was awesome. I do regret not leaving the resort just because of the safety more so. I mean, I was fine, but the people I was with, you know, I had to respect their wishes and kind of not step out of the resort. But some people did step out, and the pictures were phenomenal, and they've actually experienced Tulum like a real Tulum.
Mm.
So I definitely see myself going back. It seems to be very spiritual city, and there's a lot of like yoga retreats that are happening there. There's some music festivals, and like the whole vibe is just like jungle, and I love it.
I fucking hate it.
Why?
Just because it's taking over. It's like taking
What's
over.
taking over?
Basically, just a nice port, like you said, spiritual, and you can feel it.
Yeah.
So now it's corporatized spiritualness. That's fucked
Um,
up.
No,
in
so
my
like there
eyes.
are
Yeah.
like retreats where they're literally ran by locals, and they're like in the middle of the jungle. So it's
Yeah.
not like, I don't think like, what do you mean, like that Americans are taking over? And
It's a capitalized, like how for me, and that feeling of just like capitalization of capitalism on spiritualness is just not. It's not spiritualness. Like I get, like monks sometimes, they take donations, and I understand that as a
Mhm.
full, but like like as far as like, how can you put money and then spiritualism together? Like that's where I'm just like, I understand donations, but at the same time, it's just like it takes it away.
No, I get it.
You
Yeah,
know.
it's the manufactured in the sense of like,
Thank you.
there's one difference between having immense amount of structuredized tours for yoga and
Mm-hmm.
for nature walks and stuff like that versus just going to like if they had a preserve of the jungle and
Mm.
you going on the walk and you kind of being with nature,
Well, there's
this
both
and that.
probably.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I think, but I think these more coming from like, because it's happening in Costa Rica, it happens in a lot of
Yeah.
places where now it's all like regimented tours for tourists and
Right.
different
Yeah.
things like that. There's spiritual retreats at these huge nature looking treehouse villas and
Hmm.
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like, that's not authentic as much as they try to make it look. So I
Right.
get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And it
get that.
pushes
Yeah.
locals
I get
out and
that.
this and that.
Yeah.
And then locals come back to work it, but they're working at a
Pennies.
foreigner's
Right.
institution
Right.
versus actually having built their own thing.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's
Right.
so
Yeah,
there's a
it's
lot
not.
of
Yeah, it's not
things
But
with
publicly.
it.
Tulum
Yeah.
in general is considered like a spiritual place. Not
Listen, I'm
necessarily
sure.
like
I'm
Oh,
sure.
I'm
like
sure.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
I'm
Yeah.
there's a
sure.
lot of nature
Yeah.
walks, like you said, and there's
Yeah.
a lot of things that are not.
At the end of the day, we haven't been there, so we can't
Yeah.
truly make a
Yeah.
judgment on it.
My point was I'm going back for sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
100%.
To like actually explore it for what
Yeah.
Tulum really
Yeah.
is.
I'm grateful that people get to experience these things because
Yeah.
as somebody from Costa Rica that's been to these natural areas and stuff like that.
So
Yeah.
we'll talk about this later, but I do want to
Love
go.
how she cut me off. Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I just know because Costa Rica. I was just gonna say because it just reminded me. Like I've heard that there's a lot of yoga retreats that
Mhm.
are
Oh, of
happening
course.
in
Oh
Costa
yeah,
Rica,
100%.
which I want to do for my birthday. So
I
we'll
don't know
talk
what's
about that
taking
later.
Oh.
Costa Rica over more, Chinese or white women. But
Me.
yeah, yeah,
It's
exactly.
a race.
Yeah, like goodness gracious, like we're gonna do yoga retreats everywhere.
But
Yeah.
see, like I'm not really a yogi. I haven't gone to a yoga class in so long, and I just know like when I used to go,
Mhm.
it did make me feel great.
Sure.
Well, I'll
Um,
say this: if you do it for your birthday, definitely sign me and my wife up. She'll be the first to sign the paper. Like, okay, let's
yeah.
go yoga
Oh my God,
retreat,
that'd be
Costa Rica.
great.
We'll do a whole PND
Let's do it.
retreat.
And you
know?
guys are
Yeah.
from Costa Rica, so you can
Yeah.
show me like
Nice.
so much stuff. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm so down. Would you do it? Both of you?
I feel like she's pressuring us, bro. Like,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Well, Victor just said, yeah, let's do it. So I'm like, all right, we're invited.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometime in February.
Yeah. There
Yeah,
we go.
there you
We'll,
go.
we'll do a whole trip out there, have
Yeah.
fun, see
I
the sights.
definitely never say no to escaping the cold here in February.
Yeah.
Right?
Which do you prefer, Jaco or Puerto Viejo?
Ooh,
It's the
Puerto
east or
Viejo.
the west, pretty
Oh.
much.
yeah.
I mean, Tamarindo also is on the.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I do always love like that northwest of the country,
Yeah, dry.
Tamarindo,
Yeah.
Playa Hermosa,
Where's the
Yeah.
black
all
sand?
those. Oh, you could go to
I think the black sand's on
Playa,
Puerto Viejo.
Puerto
Yeah,
Viejo.
it's
There's
on the
also
east
Playa
side.
Manta. I think that's
Yeah.
Now,
another
how
one that
far
has
is
black
one
sand.
coast from the other coast?
Literally, you can drive there
Within a
throughout the
day.
day.
You could drive in a day.
like less than 12 hours.
Okay.
It's really dependent on traffic. Like it's 8 hours. Like if you're really just cruising, I think
I
might
do
be a little
enjoy
less.
Puerto Viejo though,
Yeah.
Limon,
But
Cahuita.
but like anything else, like when you're traveling a country, you want to just see, as even you're
Yeah.
traveling. Like I mean, I would also travel to the volcanoes. There's a hot
That's what I
springs
wanted to
Oh,
say.
area.
yeah.
Yeah, like
The hot springs
Arenal.
by Arenal
Oh,
is
beautiful.
great.
Yeah,
Right in
Yeah.
San Carlos.
yeah.
Oh.
I will say, that is one of the best spots that they definitely gentrified, and then they again they
I
bought
think they
out.
did it well though. I
Yeah,
think
they
did it well.
They did. I mean, like again, Tulum is the same thing. I'm sure it's great, but it's definitely gentrified, kind
Ooh,
of.
I
Yeah.
want to try that zip line they installed by Arenal.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the longest zip lines in Costa Rica.
My ex's sister got proposed to on that zip line.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, in Costa Rica.
Like
Yeah.
riding on the zip
Yep.
line.
He like waited. So he went first, and then she went after him,
And
and
she
he
was
was
just
waiting.
waiting.
Yeah,
Oh,
for her
okay.
to
Oh, so
come.
she
Yeah,
like
because
Yep.
I was gonna say I would not put out the ring.
Well, he almost
Mid-fire.
did
Yeah.
lose the ring, by the way. So like, there's a story to it. I don't know exactly, but it was like a risky
Yeah,
engagement.
of
But it was
course.
like
Oh, I'm
awesome.
sure.
Like,
Yeah.
and she's like me. She's very adventurous. So like, I expect
Adventurous
nothing but that.
proposal
Yeah.
was okay,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Love that.
I'm wondering how I would propose if that's the case, but yeah. Oh well.
I feel like I've always wanted to have like so many people around me so they can experience it with me. But now the older I get, I realize the privacy is everything. So I would like to have like something very small and private.
Hmm.
What?
No,
I know something's coming because you're smiling.
I'm not saying anything at this point, but yeah.
Same with a wedding. I feel like I've always wanted to have like this big princess wedding, but
And
now
now
I'm
you're
like,
just like, just something
I'm like
fun.
beach barefoot. Everybody's wearing linens, not
Oh,
linens, linen, right? Like the material. It's
well,
like the
Oh, like the white
yeah.
flowy. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
And everybody's chilling. There's a buffet bonfire going. Like
yeah,
no stress, nothing.
Sounds
yeah,
very
yeah.
Hamptonsy.
Is it really?
Yeah, I mean, I
There's a
shot a
lot
wedding
of
exactly like you
there's a
just
lot of
described.
Really? I didn't see
Yeah,
the
all
pictures.
yeah,
white
yeah,
beach
yeah.
weddings is very
It's a
common out
video.
here.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
mean,
like actual celebration on the beach or just the
the
Both,
ceremony?
ceremony
both.
was on the beach, but for at least in this
The
one,
party,
and the
yeah.
party was just off on the cliffside, so you would see the beach
Oh,
as you.
sick.
Party
Yeah, yeah,
50-50, but I've
yeah,
worked ones where they kept the party on the beach
yeah,
too before.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Love
it's
it.
a beautiful time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
like
say like.
under the
The I will
stars.
say though, I just sent Vic this video of this incredible,
Oh,
incredible film.
cinema.
Yeah,
I was,
cinema like wedding where this guy directed it as a Wes Anderson
yep.
style.
Wait,
Where
you need to send it to me.
yeah,
Really
I will.
well done.
It's
That's sick.
he really outdid himself on
Well
that one.
done.
I like because I personally hate weddings
Yeah.
in as far as like shooting a wedding because it's all usually the same style. The
Okay.
guy
Cookie
captivated in
cutter.
a way where it's like this is a
Different.
story, this is like a theme. They shot it
Love
the
it.
day after, I think, so they
Okay.
kept everything and then they just did the shots and everything
That's
like
so
that.
smart.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Keeps
it
the
could
pressure off the bride and the
exactly
Oh
groom
like
on the
yeah,
day.
yeah.
yeah. Because it
So
was very like it felt like a Wes Anderson where it was a scripted film.
I
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
love that.
yeah. So that's
See,
why,
something unique.
yeah,
I love that.
exactly. So that's why I felt I was like, that's cool. Like, I would love if somebody was like, I want a Tim Burton type of video, like a
Wow.
wedding film. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Like
yeah,
Corpse's Bride, but in real
yeah.
life.
Oh my God, hell yeah! I love Corpse's Bride.
Yeah.
I love that movie. That movie is great. Oh, I gotta tell you guys about this manga. Even though, like, I want like Eric or
We need someone
yeah,
like that here,
or
so you
Tatiana, like she gotta be here, like
geek
that I
out
can
right now.
talk to, like about anime and
Future
stuff.
episode.
But I will tell you this much is like this manga, Dan to Dan, that's the name of it. So good. It's such an emotional roller coaster that has you developed and like enveloped in the character so well. I cried a couple times
Oh,
just
Oh
reading
wow.
this.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
anime does a really good
yeah,
job of creating
yeah,
some real
yeah,
emotional
yeah,
stories, but in great
yeah,
fictional,
yeah.
fantastical,
Oh,
where you got the
absolutely.
action, you got this and that, but then it can really make you feel for a character. Their
Yeah,
writing's
I
really
haven't
nice.
really given a shot yet,
yeah,
the anime. So
And
I
their
don't have
character
any.
development's really
yeah.
Because
well
like to
done.
me it's like just like so
Cartoon.
Cartoons.
just over the
Yeah,
top and I'm
yeah,
like what the fuck is this? But
yeah,
I believe that obviously there's
yeah.
so many fanatics of anime and there's a reason behind it. So I'm willing to give it a shot.
Yeah, you just gotta find the right story for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how like anything else, because like like music or anything.
Mhm.
There's songs in country that you would fall in love with,
Right.
obviously, and there's songs in metal you love with, and then
Right.
songs in hip hop that
Yeah.
True.
just your
So
style
you
and
just
just
have to find what
yeah,
interests you.
exactly. But personally, I'm a romance type of dude, so I love when like these action manga, like shonen ones that are like meant for like usually like teen kids. And this one is so great because they developed one of the tropes. Unfortunately, is they usually like in Naruto, they unfortunately used yeah exactly. They had this character Sakura, which is a female lead
Mhm.
in one of it, but unfortunately
Infamous.
yeah, she's famous for being useless. Like, that's they destroyed her character. Like,
Oh yeah.
like her importance of being like, oh, she's like those top three characters, but throughout the entire manga, it's just like, what the fuck is she doing? She's not. She's just crying half the
She's just
time.
there.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
damn, that
So
sucks.
it's just like Naruto, help us! It was like everybody's just like Jesus Christ. But then after that, though, like in this anime, they made her like this Momo, the girl is so energetic, such empowerment like within her. Like she doesn't take no bullshit from a man.
Oh
She'll
hell
just
yeah.
like yeah, like a strong
Yeah,
female
strong
lead
minded. Mhm.
that like showcases like just the full range of emotions from happy,
Hmm.
sad, and like just
Love
like a
it.
real character, like a real person you can relate to,
Mhm.
even in this whole sequence. And one of the best things that I got to watching a video essay about Dan to Dan before like I really got into it, and one of the best things that they like the guy was saying is just like is it the story really doesn't matter like in because this writer. He
Mhm.
was saying like story doesn't matter. It's about your execution
Mhm.
and the character's portrayal and everything like that. And somebody like bet him like, I bet you can't do this with like, you can't do that. Like you can't combine Pokemon and like, Game of Thrones. So the guy, the author, he was like, game on.
Watch.
So
Yeah.
he's written 5 books already and they've all become bestsellers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that how you would describe Dan to Dan?
It's such an outrageous anime, like, but it's so like it's everything is relatable to it. Like
Okay.
you'll like it's like Harry Potter in a way where you just like fall in love with the characters because of who they are and just like the thing with Harry Potter that I dislike the most is and this is just a personal little beef of mine with it. It's just like how the spells there's no power range in it, and by power
Mm.
range I mean like it's just like they just say a hocus pocus spell and then it's just like it's power. It's like
Yeah.
Oh
like
yeah.
yeah
There's
I
no real way to gauge your strength
exactly.
level of the spell
So
itself.
that's
Yeah.
where I dislike when that kind of thing happens, or when
Yeah.
like for Dragon Ball Z when they just started just like it's outrageous powers, and then and then like it
There's
just keeps
another
growing
level.
growing, but then all of a sudden the lowest people now can match those highest people, and it's like what the fuck just happened with that? Like they just surpassed them so far, but now they're battling and like
Like,
when that
he
happens,
spent a million
yeah.
years in the hyperbolic
Yeah,
time chamber.
exactly. And
It happened in between episodes, by the way, so you don't even
and
know.
now they
But
just fight equally, and it's like that I hate that when
well,
something like that, like the gauge in it.
and
Now
they
you're
keep
just
writing themselves in the corner. It's like, okay, now he's literally the strongest thing ever.
yeah,
We need to make something even
yeah,
stronger than that.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
now it's continuous. Like, what is the
yeah,
strongest ever? Because we keep hitting that limit, and
yeah.
somehow they're
Right.
figuring out
Yeah.
another level to
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and I understand stories need to like have weight to them as far as like villains and stuff like that. Like it's understandable if
Hmm.
somebody like oh, we need to make this villain like really like there has to be pressure on this main character of ours,
Yeah.
because if not, then the story there's no threat to it. There's no
You
like you can't
Yeah.
dive deeper
you
into
want
it.
a trope I always really enjoy in some of these animes? There's one
Mhm.
I'm watching recently called Seven. Um,
7, I feel like I've heard of it.
and I think it recently came out on like Hulu or something. But one of the main character,
Hmm.
it's that trope where you see sometimes you have this main character who is just an everyday person, and
Hmm.
then they just get out of nowhere stuck in
Mm.
this situation where
Okay.
they have to like just briefly lie of who they are, and now everyone believes. So it's like this character, not to spoil too much, she just by just a coincidence gets trapped into this ring of criminals
Hmm.
in this world, and just to like kind of just be like, I don't want to die here, so I'm just like, oh, I'm also a criminal of the same stature,
Mm.
you can call me the swindler. And then all of a sudden they all believe her, and then she gets kind of roped in with no choice but to be a part of
Yeah.
this criminal group,
That's
and it
what I
just
love about
accidentally
animes.
like
Yeah.
just like I don't know, it's like, okay, they're doing their best, they're trying to become, and but they have a good heart, so they are a driven person,
Yeah.
but now it's like because of just a need to survive
Yeah.
and a need to like keep things up, the way things keep happening is kind of keep them. And for me, it's relatable because I feel like in real life, honestly,
Yeah.
like even as a business owner and this and that, a lot of times, like I feel like as any small business owner, it's like you're roped into the point. It's like, okay, I do this thing well, I do the thing.
Mhm.
But now I'm my own accountant. I guess I know what I'm
Everything. Yeah.
doing. Oh, I gotta do contracts like a lawyer. I
Mhm.
guess I know what I'm doing. And then,
Mhm.
but the whole time you're just like faces like, yeah, I'll send you the contract. It's like, oh, did you send me the writer yet? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll get that right over to you. And you figure it out, and because you have to do it.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I feel like, but I see these in like these extreme cases,
Mm.
and I'm always like, it's just I don't know. I always feels like it's relatable. It's funny. It gives a very nice element.
Now I want to watch it.
It's just more ridiculous
Yeah.
situations, of course.
Fair.
Interesting. I was
Yeah.
just watching not anime
Yeah.
at all, but it was Deadpool and Wolverine because
Okay.
a lot of
Okay.
people told me about it that they went
Yeah.
to movies, and honestly, the way that movie is done is wild. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
How
I
did you
If
feel
you
about it
haven't seen
overall?
it, your own fucking fault at this
Yeah,
point.
but how
No,
did
I
you
mean,
feel
I'm
about
just
it?
not like a Marvel person anymore.
Yeah.
I used to be when I was younger, but not like plus I don't watch TV, period. So like my ass was on the plane and had nothing to do, so I started watching it, obviously. And I was just like, whoa, the way it's like actually filmed. I mean, you probably would know more about it, but I just loved like the blood splashes and like some
Oh
like
yeah.
crazy action, and
Yeah.
it looks so real. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, this guy has literally a whole sword inside of him.
Yeah.
Yep.
My biggest
Like,
beef
how
with
did they do
my
that?
my biggest beef was, and I told Victor this, it's like
Yeah.
they should have cut down that whole NSYNC song.
Oh, the intro.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It was just the full song, bro. I was
That's a
like,
lot. Yeah,
yeah, I was like, you could
It's
have
a
cut
music
the
video right now.
yeah. I was
yeah.
just like, I was bored.
I think it was
Yeah,
funny as hell though.
yeah.
It
I
was
prefer
Minus
the
that.
I preferred the first two rather than the last one.
the first
I
one. I
Yeah,
think most people would
yeah.
agree is like the best on all accounts across the board.
Uh,
On like
Usually
as a
the
general
first.
overall score. There's stuff I love all three for different reasons for sure.
I'm big on number two right now. Honestly, the Juggernaut.
I have to
Okay,
watch
I
it. I
mean
haven't seen the second one.
The second one's
the
yeah.
the third one. I know I personally love it because I keep up with a lot of the Marvel news.
Mm.
But I know the big thing with a lot of people is that he included so many inside jokes unless you actually knew what was happening behind the scenes and you actually knew all the nuances.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand it falling flat. Like I enjoyed it because I understood it all, but I understand how most people probably wouldn't
Are
because
you saying the first one or the third one?
I'm talking about the third one right now.
Oh yeah, no, the third one.
There was so many
Yeah, no,
inside things.
like it was fan made.
Yeah.
That was the problem with me. It was like I wanted a Wolverine Deadpool movie, not a fan made movie like where it's like all these cameos and it's cool to see everybody, but
Yeah.
it's like I wanted. They did so well in the first two.
Mm-hmm.
They could have
Yeah.
definitely pulled a better story.
See, I
But
have no
yeah,
comment on that because I didn't see the second one.
yeah,
So
yeah. Did
I
you
need to
watch
watch
the
it now.
first one?
Yes, long
Yeah,
time ago though.
yeah,
Yeah.
I,
yeah.
I like
Second
kind
one's
of don't
good.
remember it, so I'm gonna be on
Why?
Bender, Deadpool Bender. I do
Yeah.
love Ryan, so I love how
He
he's
might
just
be
funny.
the new Disney head. Like
Well, it's like he called himself Marvel Jesus.
yeah. I just feel like
Uh,
I hope if he would, because I think he would take it over. As far as like
he's so good.
yeah, on his
He's in this
marketing and
new
story.
movie too with this furry guy.
Oh
Disney
yeah, I've seen it.
movie. What is
Yeah,
it?
I
It?
didn't see it, but
You're
I
thinking
saw
about it?
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
That's about the imaginary friends?
Yes.
Okay,
I
yeah.
haven't seen it yet, but I want to
Hmm.
watch it. I
I
love
haven't seen
Disney.
it
I
yet
was
either,
raised on
but I
Disney.
was interested in it.
Hmm?
I haven't seen it yet either, but I'm interested
Yeah,
in
I'm
it.
gonna definitely look into it.
Okay,
I'm a
awesome.
big Disney girl. Yeah.
Yeah,
Should we get
read some
into some
stories.
stories?
Okay, guys,
Ooh.
I know
think it's
that's what
time.
you're here for.
The
Impo. Yeah.
jiggle jiggle.
Oh, and yeah, and Victor. Yeah, not me though. Yeah.
How's my shirt
Yeah.
looking today?
They're jiggling. They're jiggling.
Who's
They're
going
jiggling.
first?
I got a simple, short one.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Go
Am
listen.
I the asshole for thinking my husband was cheating after he suddenly became very concerned with his fitness and hygiene? My husband has never really cared too much about how he looks. Now, that doesn't mean he doesn't care at all.
Mhm.
He's kept a healthy weight. He showers every day. He brushes his
Brushes
teeth twice a day.
Right.
But he dresses for comfort. He doesn't work out really and cuts his own hair. Doesn't shave on the weekends and never puts anything on that makes him smell good other than deodorant. Well, recently, pretty much overnight, he changed all that. He started going to the gym.
I know
He
where
lost
this is
20
going.
pounds
Mm.
with some definition. He also bought new clothes and has become very concerned about his personal hygiene.
Mhm.
He's whitened his teeth. All hair on his body is now neatly trimmed, and he smells great pretty much all day.
He's cheating. So
Yep.
yeah.
I asked him multiple times why he is doing this all of a sudden. He just told me he wanted to. So I concluded that he is either cheating on me or looking to cheat. This was all so out of character that I didn't have another explanation. I looked through every device he has. I tracked his phone, searched his car, and found nothing.
Good man. He's operating correctly.
So I confront him. And of course, he denies anything is going on. I pressed him more on his sudden changes, and he finally breaks and asks me, when was the last time I initiated sex? I stopped and thought for a minute and said, I couldn't remember. But he did. It was 5 years and 2 months ago.
Dude, what?
I
shit.
joined him in the shower, and that was the last time I did it.
Mm.
Now, we've had plenty of sex since then, but he's always started it. I usually don't turn him down, but admittedly, I usually give him a hard time about it. I'm into it once we get going, but it takes me some time to get there. I didn't say anything at first, and then he kind of shook his head, grumbled, and went into the other room. I felt like garbage and have apologized over and over, but he's a little hurt that I would think he would cheat. That's not
Aw,
really in his character, and I should have known that. We've made up, and I've initiated plenty of sex this past week.
good.
Now that I know what it was all for, the new, nice smelling hard body is greatly appreciated.
Mm,
But I still feel bad both for thinking he cheated and for making him go to these lengths just to get my attention from me.
mhm.
So, was I the asshole?
Of course, but that's okay. You know,
Yeah.
a
I mean,
positive
that
came.
just, I
Yeah,
mean, your reaction was he's cheating. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, automatically, we're
yeah,
first to assume.
yeah, yeah.
I would probably think the same.
Hmm.
But then again, I mean, I wasn't in the relationship, not fucking my man, and so or
That's
fucking my
crazy.
partner, and
I mean,
so
I've been in
5
that,
years, like
not 5 years,
Yeah.
but
So,
whoa, good
like,
for him for not cheating, though.
yeah,
yeah,
And
good for
and he
him,
actually took
honestly.
steps. It's like, okay, maybe I'll make her interested because
yeah,
I'm the only one who
yeah.
initiates here.
But
So
that was also something on him that he should have brought up a
he should have
long time
talked to
ago.
her
Just like,
before doing all
yeah,
these changes to
yeah,
make it happen
yeah,
subtly. He
yeah.
should have just been like, "Hey, I want you to like, is there
Want
something with
me?
me? Is
Yeah,
there like, what can I improve for
yeah,
you before
yeah,
just, I understand taking the action just so he can get
yeah.
the attention, but like maybe conversations.
Yeah,
Right.
like it's those assumptions that kill a relationship just because of the expectations of like the other person doesn't know your expectations,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
should just let them know. And then yes, in some ways it kills like the idea of just like, oh,
You
like I
you
love
want it
the
to be
surprise of it.
spontaneous,
Yeah,
you
but the
know,
thing
but
is it's like it's not gonna happen there, and then you don't know when it's gonna happen. So but at least that person is making that initial, and then you feel good about like they listened in to you, so they're now trying to connect
Yeah.
with you.
yeah.
And it's just like some people don't understand that, and they subsequently
Hmm.
relate like sporadic or just like those surprises are just like, and it's just
Yeah.
like that's not how a good relationship works.
I
It's through
think a
communication.
I think a big problem, I think happens in a lot of relationships, is that people naturally are conflict avoidant.
Mm,
Hmm.
You don't like confrontation.
yeah,
So people are constantly trying to maneuver behavior to make it happen naturally versus
yeah,
actually just taking the step and just clearly, because obviously it's not working one way, so they're like, let me try every other way to subtly initiate it instead of being direct, because
yeah,
they fear rejection if they are direct with it, or they
yeah,
they have this self-conscious like, oh, maybe I'm just not attractive anymore, maybe they don't love me anymore, and they don't want to hear those truths, and you overthink it. And I
yeah.
think it's just easier when you just communicate about it, because it's
Yeah.
rarely the worst case scenario. It's
Literally.
rarely
I agree.
that, but both of them went to the worst case scenario. They both,
Yeah,
but the good thing is they actually like resolved it. It sounds
yeah,
like
That's
okay,
yeah,
great.
which is
yeah.
there's that.
He's out there fucking other bitches too. Yeah, good for him.
He
Yeah,
might be just a
yeah.
pathological liar at this point, and it's great at
I,
lying.
Yeah, let's not go there because
I
that's
will
just
say
bad on
the
us at that point.
I will say the account that
Yeah.
posted this, her account name is Bad Wife.
Damn, bro.
Damn,
Like, have
that's
some positivity in you
I was like,
for
oh,
yourself a
okay,
little bit. But
that
anyways,
wasn't
though,
needed.
yeah. All right. What has been your most spine tingling, bone chilling? I have a bad feeling about this experience. When my kids went to bed, I used to go to the barn where I had a bottle of whiskey hidden. I take a drink, contemplating the day, think about my late wife, and try to decompress. I struggled heavily with PTSD. Add to that the recent loss of my wife, the stress of raising two kids who didn't really know me, and intense pain from severe burns that I had suffered before leaving the Marine Corps. It's safe to say that I was extremely thinking of offing myself. One particular night, I wrote out a long letter to my family, letters to my children, placed them along with my will, my financial documents, etc., on the kitchen table. I went out to the barn with a 40 caliber and had every intention of getting drunk and eating a bullet. I was as low as I've ever been in my life. All of a sudden, my dad walked into the barn. He lived 2 hours away, and we haven't spoken in a couple weeks. He picked up the handgun, cleared it, and dropped the magazine without a word. I asked him what he was doing there at 10:30 p.m. and he said, "I had a bad feeling. Let's talk." That's the one and only time I've ever seen my dad cry. That's the only time we've ever spoken in detail about our individual horrors of combat. My dad saved my life that night, and I've made sure to live my life in such a way to make him proud of everything I do.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
The God feelings are guardian angels
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
in every aspect.
Yeah.
We tend to ignore them, but it's always right.
You know, it's crazy. You never know who you save by just extending that helpful hand to
Mm-hmm.
just alleviate their day.
And
Like,
Yeah.
follow those gut feelings.
yeah.
Intuition's powerful,
Mm,
Yeah.
you know.
Very. And I just think, like, you know, I do have plenty of love for other people, and every day I try to make someone smile. And even if, like, going to silly, coffee shop, there's this cute girl that works there, and she's
mhm.
just so like me, like very bubbly. Like, I walk in, I'm like, "Oh, hey girl, you look so cute." And like, you can have the worst day, but
Yeah.
then when you hear someone so enthusiastic about and giving
Yeah.
you just a random compliment, like,
It
I'm sorry,
changes your
but
day.
your day just got better. Like, let's just
It
be real.
did.
And I'm that person where, like, if I see someone upset behind me in the line, for coffee or something, I'll
Mm-hmm.
be like, "What a beautiful day outside, right?" And then they'll be like, yeah, sure." And then I try to make a comment of like, "Oh, I like your dog," or like, "I like your sunglasses," just
Yeah.
something to just like maybe like help them
Yeah.
snap out of that mood. Because every time people do this to me, my day definitely gets better. It
Absolutely.
really is the small things
Yeah.
that we can do daily
It's
to,
little bits of kindness that somebody that even a stranger just buying a
Mm-hmm.
coffee or something like that, buy us a coffee.
yeah.
Yeah, like can do for
Mm-hmm.
somebody else that just makes the world change. Just that day that could be horrible to hear some bad news of like somebody passed away, you have a ill disease or something
Yeah.
along those lines, or just a bad day in general, and then like okay,
Mm-hmm.
this
They just
small
went away.
gesture can just change their whole feelings of that whole day. And that's why it's nice to stay positive
Hmm.
because positivity spreads
Hmm.
along with negativity. And
Yeah.
that's
And
the crazy
negativity
thing.
spreads faster,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think a really important part of that story is like follow that gut feeling. Like we all get it. Like sometimes you'll see someone a stranger or something, and you're just like, I want to say something. I don't know why I want to say something. It's like, oh, I like this or that.
Energy is real.
And most people ignore that feeling because
Hmm.
it's obviously socially weird. It's just, I don't know you. I'm gonna say nice hat for no reason at all or
Yeah.
something like that. Just it's good to do it. And also we
Europeans are
all
good at it.
we all had
Mm.
it too, where we like think of someone we haven't talked to in a while, this and that. Think of a loved one or something. It's like, and we just like, oh, I wonder what they're doing. Like, and you're starting to think they're on your mind. It's like those are the moments. Like maybe at that point, since you're curious about them, actually message
Message
them, send
them.
them a text, give them a call, this and that. You probably, since you're already in thought of them, you
Might
have
as
five
well.
minutes at that moment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's valuable because I'm sure that he just had a feeling, but he followed it. My dad speaks on intuition all the time.
Mhm.
He's like follow, like if you have a gut feeling, if you feel it, just follow it. Don't question it because that's like personally have saved his own life before
Mm.
in a bad feeling way. Like he told me two distinct stories, which I think are kind of crazy. One time, he went out with a girl in Costa Rica,
Mhm.
and he knows this little cliff face on the mountain that he loves. You see San Jose, the
Yeah.
city,
Yeah.
Wow.
from the cliff face, and he likes it. And when he was younger, he would take girls there because it's just a nice date, in his
Mhm.
car and
Like, oh,
stuff like
you
that.
seen this
Yeah.
guy with me last week on
and
this cliff? He
and
loves to take me
he
I'm
went
gonna make
many
there.
people
sure.
there.
He went there, but he said this one specific time when he went there, the girl got out to go see the view, and he just had the strongest bad feeling that night. And he was just like, he felt it, but he's at this point, he just follows his feeling. And he's just like, get back in the car. We're leaving. She's like, we just
What
got
the hell
here. Look
happened?
at this.
Yeah.
Looks great. It's like, get back in the car. My dad's very straightforward.
Ah,
He's like, we're leaving now.
oh,
And
jeez.
he's just like, because
That scared me.
and basically that's what he did. She got back in the car and they went on, they did something else that night, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a landslide on that exact cliff the next morning that they saw at some point in the middle of the night. There was a landslide that happened, which happens from time to time in Costa
Yeah.
Rica because it's a lot of rain.
Yeah.
So he was like that. And then there was another time he went out with friends. They went out to this bar. They were
Mm.
having a good time. He's like, he walked in and he's just like, I don't want to be here. Hey, let's go somewhere else. Let's try this. It's just not the vibe tonight. They're like, come on, there's nothing wrong. The music's going. We just put in our drink orders. We're good. He's like,
Mhm.
no, no. I mean, you guys can stay if you want. I'm not. No, I'm
Mhm.
not staying here. I don't feel it. It's not good. And he's like, yeah. He's like, okay, well, have fun. I'm out. And my dad's pretty clean and cut like that. He
Yeah.
does went out. He said he met his friends the next day. Some of them had broken ribs. One of them had a broken nose. A full out brawl happened at that bar later that night. He's just like, I trust it with every fiber of my being. I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, those are like two stories. And
Yeah.
so, but it works. We have these feelings for both to help others and help ourselves, like that. So
I
I
love
think
that.
it's a good thing to follow because if nothing happened that night, either way, what's there to lose?
Right. You can go back to that bar
Yeah.
tomorrow.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, you never know. And the same
Mm.
thing with people. You never know. If he ignored that bad feeling about his son, if it's just reaching
He
out,
would
going to see something,
forever
never
literally have to
forgive himself,
yeah,
you
live
know?
with it.
Mm.
And the same thing with strangers. Can you imagine feeling like, I want to say, something to a stranger, but the next day you see on the news something happen and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, is that the same guy?
I
Yeah.
always say
I mean,
something.
I feel like we'll feel the same way, right?
Mm.
Even if we didn't know them, it's like, but you felt something?
And
Mm.
we probably saved so many people already that we don't even know about. But just being genuine to
Yeah.
somebody.
You never
Yeah,
You
know.
just
know?
You may
making their
never see the
day,
result.
just
And
like
usually the happiest people on the outside are the most like suicidal
Yeah.
if it comes to like problems and if they are dealing with depression.
mm,
What's this actor's name?
Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was so sad.
It's good
Yeah.
intuition. That's it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Next story.
Next
Mm.
story. Am I the asshole for getting upset after my husband asked for a paternity test? My husband, 30, and I, 27, recently welcomed our baby boy just a few months ago. Adjusting to life with a newborn has been challenging, but until recently, I had no reason to think he was unhappy or suspected anything. 2 days ago, out of the blue, he asked for a paternity test. He insisted it wasn't because he suspected me of cheating and that he only wanted peace of mind, mentioning how he would hate to unknowingly raise a child who might not be his. I was heartbroken. To me, asking for a paternity test feels like an accusation of infidelity. Infidelity.
Mhm.
Even though he kept insisting that wasn't the case. But during the conversation, he even brought up little incidents that supposedly fueled his doubts,
Mm.
which only added to my hurt and confusion. Overwhelmed and in tears, I ended up shouting at him and leaving to calm down. The next day, I couldn't bring myself to talk to him, and last night, he confronted me about the silent treatment, and we ended up in another heated argument. Since then, we haven't spoken. Honestly, I'm at a complete loss. I love him deeply and I don't want our marriage to unravel, especially now with the baby involved. This is the first time we've had a conflict like this and I'm struggling to make sense of it all. So, am I the asshole for reacting the way I did? Is there something I'm missing?
She is personally me. It's like, and this is actually something that's been going into law recently,
Mhm.
where it's like every single time there's a birth given, there's a paternity test right afterwards, which I feel should be the
Mhm.
law. I don't
standard.
see, yeah, because there's actually one out of three. Most of the times that a baby is born, that's that's
The
not the
dad is not.
father.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
one out of fucking three, and you're gonna be complaining. Like, granted, if she has, I get where her feelings are coming from,
Mhm.
of feeling like you don't trust me, and the dude's a little bit of like
Yeah,
he
he's not
should,
giving her right
yeah,
answers.
like he should have just came out and just like, I just want to like get my doubts out and just like get this paternity test. That,
Mhm.
like something simple like that, not like
Mhm.
anything like accusing. It's just like more just like, I just want to make sure. Like, and if he came at her in the right way, I think it wouldn't have been an issue. I don't know what the tone was overall for this
Mhm.
conversation, but I don't think asking for a paternity test should ever invoke any like uh, feelings of like, just like, oh, I can't believe him. It's just like,
My
that,
only
can
thing,
you not believe yourself? It's like,
yeah.
then
Like
then
why
yeah.
is it why is it a problem? But
Yeah.
at the same time it's like like all of a sudden, like it's been what, 8 months, she's about to pop that baby
Yeah.
or something like that, like she's at the late pregnancy,
Yeah.
and now you're asking, like, that's kind of silly. That would automatically make me question things too, but like at the end of the day, as a result, I would just give it to him, like,
Yeah.
if that's gonna solve your,
Yeah.
if that's gonna give you the peace of mind you're looking for, sure. But like, I
Exactly.
do expect, I hate the word expect, but like, if I'm married to you and we're having a baby, like, I would love for you to just be more direct and actually explain what are the doubts in your head that you think that this is not your
That's
son.
why I would always tell any woman that I'm with, like if we were to have a child, even before the child is born, there's gonna be a paternity test. 100%.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what you want. It's gonna be a paternity
Yeah.
test. If there's no like qualm within you about like,
Yeah.
no, I didn't cheat, then it shouldn't be an issue.
Right.
And I'm gonna always have that conversation beforehand, so that way it's not even a
So
question.
it's expected.
Yeah,
Sometimes
exactly.
doubts come later too,
Yeah.
because he could have been through like a honeymoon stage of we're gonna have a baby,
Okay.
this and that, and then once you get over the honeymoon stage, it's like, but wait a minute, I feel weird about this and that, and then it's like, okay. And then people are like, when they get those doubts initially, half the time they don't want to believe it themselves. They're like, no, I'm just overthinking it. No, I'm just overthinking it. But then until it gets too much, and then they're like, okay, I have to
But
ask.
I do feel the way that by the sounds of it, the way that he went about it was just him really insecurities.
Yeah, he riled
and,
himself
yeah,
up
and it was
way
just like
before
not
that.
the
That's the
right way to
problem.
like tell her just like, hey, I just want, I believe in you, but I just want to make sure everything's kosher, bop, 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 and shouldn't be an issue, and making sure that her feelings are heard and understood. But if she gave him any budge of like, no, I feel like any woman that says no to that,
Yeah, you're
I
already
mean, now you're
suspect.
super sus at that point.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
if you got nothing to hide, then you got nothing to hide.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
But what's the update though? I'm curious on this.
Oh, update. There's not much, but we talked today and I finally agreed to the paternity test. He also handed over his phone on my request, as Sam suggested. And so far, I haven't found any signs of infidelity.
Fidelity.
Infidelity
Yep.
on his part. He also said that he sincerely doesn't believe I have been unfaithful, but still hasn't explained why he wants the test. I'm still really hurt and he doesn't seem to trust me, but I hope the results will put his mind at ease and we can put this behind us.
Oh, I
Good on
wish there
her.
was an update of like it wasn't his baby. Like, oh,
Right?
really, bitch? Like,
That's crazy.
yeah, because
Maybe
that's
in like
happened.
comments or something.
Yeah, again, like 1 out of 3, bro. One
That's
out of
crazy
3.
statistic.
Yeah, like you better believe I'm testing all my motherfucking kids, like every single one of them. Like, not to say like I want to,
I mean,
throw away a
I
child,
feel
but
like in general, like a DNA test in general with
Yeah.
every kid, it's just also DNA tests help you learn what they're predisposed to, different things like that. Like
Yeah.
in general, there's a lot of aspects to that you want to see. Anyways,
yeah, but I'll say just backtracking to like the forward notion is just like listen, I just want to make sure this is my kid. This is the best way of like making sure you're not cheating on me. And on top of that, it's like this is a heavy toll on me as well. Like as far as an investment is concerned, it's just like God forbid that I find 18 years old. I'll love the kid like 18 years, but to find out 18 years that that's not your child, that's a big fucking bomb. Apparently,
Yeah.
from what I hear, most of the time that people find this type of stuff out is during their deathbed, kind of thing like that. Like the
Yeah.
mom is like in their deathbed, or like they have to have a
that
kidney,
one last regret.
or they have a kidney transplant, like or need a transplant of some
Oh,
sort,
or
and the
s-
parent is like, I'm willing to give, to fix it,
you're
and then
not
they
a
find,
match.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
not a match. I'd be
Yeah.
fucking fuming at that bitch.
Yeah.
I'd be like, not
Yeah.
at the kid, but definitely at the, like, how dare you, and it's just
Yeah.
like, that's
But
what,
I
yeah,
just want to add, like, speaking of this, like, usually when you point fingers at someone, like, let's say with this paternity
yeah,
test, like, he's not giving her the right reasoning behind why he wants to get it done.
yeah,
Usually when you point one finger at someone, three fingers should be pointed at yourself,
yeah,
just like generally speaking. And what if he actually, let's say, is cheating on her, won't admit it, and is asking for paternity test because he wants to make sure whether it's his or like his child or not, so he doesn't have to take responsibility.
of course, that's
Like that could also be, and
oh
like
yeah,
me being traumatized, that's what I think it is.
yeah. Listen, it's
Like,
it's always like when the insecurity, like we
yeah,
just said, negativity affects other people,
yeah,
like positivity, And then in that insecure moment, you're putting insecurity in her as
Mhm.
well. So that's why it's more of a conversation than you just attacking her,
Right.
and that's
Mhm.
where you really just got, again, I feel like he went about it probably the wrong way and then attacked her again. And like you're asking, where is this coming from? And then he should have presented some kind of facts as just
Mhm.
like, I saw a message or something like that or
Right.
whatever. Like, just again, this is my truth with you. Like, I'm just letting you know, please put this at rest for my sake.
Yeah.
And that changes the whole
Yeah.
dynamic when
Yeah.
you're just speaking from me,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Not
instead of
you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah. Take
that.
ownership of
Yeah,
Most
exactly.
your
people, when it comes to
feelings.
Yeah.
like relationships, trust, or insecurities, they get themselves way too emotionally charged by the time they're willing to voice it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like two parts. First of it, recognizing that if you're getting emotionally charged about something,
Mm.
that means yes, you should talk about it, but also means that you need to ground yourself before you talk about it.
Right.
And in the second half, if someone comes at you emotionally charged, it's understanding that, okay, obviously they've been sitting on this for a little too long, and that you need to first calm them down and
Mhm.
not take it super personally
Yeah.
because they are emotionally
Right.
charged and it's coming from an emotional place, not a logical place.
Right.
So it's like those are like two things to watch out for if you're on either side of that.
Mr. Talkie with
Agreed.
the hands.
Yeah. I'm not telling you.
Yeah, Italian. Okay. Outside of that, though, thank you for being on P&D once again. I hope you like the new banners that we got up there. The new profile pics.
And we got
Yeah,
PND Podcast little light
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Where
little
we're
thing.
building this out every day a little
The
further. I'm growing
couch.
poorer as we go. So yeah, more in debt.
Thanks
Just
to
for
you
you
guys,
guys.
honestly,
Yeah,
seriously.
yeah. So we appreciate everything. Guys, say your goodbyes. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make
Share
sure
our
you,
content,
yeah.
please.
And send us stories if you want that we'll read off,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be
If they're
great.
interesting, that is. If not, don't.
We're trying to keep it cool,
Yeah. But
So we'll see you next week, though.
yeah.
Monday. Bye.
Peace.
Peace.